It's very fortunate, yes. I mean, I've been around for as long as a vintage car now. I think I qualify to be, but I've eased up on the amount of work I want to do.
What are you? Because I've followed you through so many elements of your career, all of which I love. Musical theatre is a big passion of mine. I've seen you many times on stage, and you blow us away with that. Comedically, you're brilliant, and of course, under all that, you're an actor. What are you?
I think an actor, basically, and I've always been happier acting and playing a real character. So that by creating Frank Spencer, and people will hear as soon as I laugh, they'll go, "Oh, there's his laugh," and I go, "Oh yeah, I do have that sort of laugh." It's a bit strange. And then Phantom was something that the music gave me. I just heard Andrew Lloyd Webber's music, and it hit some chord inside me and made the hair stand up on the back of my head, and I found the character, I mean, within a minute or so, the basis of that character, and gosh, I wish it always happened like that. I suppose most actors do. So, and then Barnum, I suppose these things have been big things in my life, but they're all very, very different, and I never thought I'd actually end up as a singer, and having sold 22 million copies of an album like the Phantom. I mean, it's just not something you really ever think you're going to do when you've been doing All Betty for a few years. So, and then I got a concert career, so I was able to go out and tell stories on my own as me. And again, I never thought I'd be able to do that, but they're all stories about what has happened on the journey, and I have fun doing that, but just slowed up now, not doing quite as much.
I know you take what you do very seriously, but it's so rare in somebody's career to have two big hits for two very different things. Oh, yeah. Do you regard yourself as very blessed in that way?
Oh, unbelievably so, yes, unbelievably so. Is that people say, "Oh, you'll never..." I mean, I've had my misses as well, I can tell you, and when you get those, they're not too pleasant. But the hits mean, obviously. I mean, when you first hear something you've done on the radio, if they play something you've sung, you go, "That's me, that's me." I mean, you're just like a child in a toy shop, and I can't think that would ever change for someone like Sinatra. And I mean, I'm sure he got excited when he heard himself on the radio. It's a thrill.
When you see FranK on the TV now, or you hear that big song from Phantom on the radio, which I still play because we always go back to the original cast recording with any show, so you're played around the world, do you see that as you now, or is that almost a different person?
No, I mean, it's all been part of my the person that I am now. We just develop, and so when I look back, I watch it with my grandchildren, and we sit there and laugh together, because the characters are always him. It's not me. I'm playing him. I'm playing someone else. So, and I go, "Look at him." I'll go to the children, "Just look at him, what he's doing," and I'll laugh rather, I suppose, immodestly at myself.
When you look at Phantom, what really fascinates me about that is it's still in the West End. Shows come and go, even the biggest come and go. They never last as long as Phantom. No. Do you think there was a certain alchemy with that show between Andrew's writing, your performance, and Sarah's performance? Because that's so rare.
Absolutely. I think every single person, I've always said this, that with Gillian Lynn as the choreographer, with Maria Bjornsson, the designer, with Hal Prince, the director, with Andrew's music, and with Sarah's performance, everything, every element gelled. And of course that doesn't always happen, because otherwise we'd have a lot more of these shows running forever and ever. But it was just... I think we even felt something extraordinary in rehearsal. And not that we were going to get the reviews we got and it would run as long as it did, but we certainly didn't feel... I mean, it was off the wall for me to play a character like that. I mean, it was laughed at in the West End, most probably. Thank goodness there wasn't much internet then and I couldn't read about it. But the abuse I must have been getting, saying, "Oh, who does he think he is doing that?" So luckily I was in a bit of a bubble, and just the rehearsal rooms, and I worked at it, and we did it and locked ourselves away and reaped the rewards from the result.
You've got such pathos to your voice and such emotion with it. You're one of the few voices that make me cry. Are you aware of that when you're doing it? Because it's such an emotional performance.
The words mean so much to me when I sing them. If I'm in a play and my mother dies or something, I'm related to my own life, and I'm half Irish, so my grandmother was always singing me songs about little, boys who've gone to heaven with the angels far above, and I spent my childhood crying my eyes out on a Friday night listening to the family sitting around singing Irish folk songs, and that was good fun. Yes, well, it was otherwise it was outside and the war was just finishing, so we did have a good time. But I think I grew up as a pretty sensitive soul. Yeah, and I don't regret that at all, because when I do sing a song, it means what it meant to me when I was growing up and singing songs. When I got my first girlfriend when I was about 8, I'd sing, I'd listen to these songs, sweet memories you gave me. I mean, maybe they're historic. No one will know what I'm talking about now, but you'd sit there and think of this girl, in kindergarten with you. Oh dear, my case comes up next week.
I sound like an old fart, but are they writing them like they used to? Because they're not lasting as long now. There's a couple of exceptions to that rule, Les Mis and Phantom, which seems to be here forever. Could we tempt you back with anything?
I'm sure if it was different enough. It's just you want to do something that is different. If you've done shows that, again, we've been lucky enough to run for a long period of time, you don't want to do the same thing again. So it would have to be a very, very different character, and something that would keep you amused 8 shows a week and intrigued so that you could hold the audience.